We'll get that door closed and we'll get underway. All right. With us now from Creighton, head coach Jim Flannery, student athletes Sydney Lamberty and Jalen Agnew. Same process again. We'll do opening statement from coach, then we'll open it up to questions for the student athletes. Once again, we have a wireless microphone, so when we get to that point, please raise your hand and Pam will get the microphone over to you. And a name and affiliation would be appreciated. So we'll start with a brief opening statement from Coach Jim Flannery.
Well, there's a lot more people in here today than yesterday. You know, Marquette's a really good team. We knew that when we played up here 2 months ago. We played one of our best games of the year, and they probably didn't play very well, but then we were fortunate to beat them at home. So we knew it was going to be the type of game that it was. You know, they're really impressed with King's development and her improvement. Like I shouldn't tell you, but I voted for her for most improved player because I think she's really made a huge jump as a player. I think her development has made their team better, and she was really good today. And so was Wilborn. We have a tough time matching up with those guys. And then Blockton was Blockton. You know, she's going to make some tough shots, but I thought we battled. You know, we played well enough to win. You know, the number of three-point baskets that we had in the first half and in the game that went in and out were, I think Audrey had at least 4 shots that were inside the rim, maybe 5 from the three-point line. So, and I told them at half, you know, we were 4 for 20, and we probably had 4 or 5 go in and out. So, you know, the difference between 3 of those going in that didn't go in is huge. But I thought we competed. Sydney was incredible. I thought, you know, easily, I can't say easily, but it was the best game she's ever played. I loved her competitiveness. I loved her leadership, and you know, that goes along with playing well. But you have to back that up. It starts with an attitude and a mentality to be able to play that well in that setting. And so that was really cool to see. And you know, Jalen has just really, I think, had a special freshman year to the degree that when she's on the floor late in a game like that, you have every bit of confidence that she can make the plays that she did. So I thought, you know, we did a lot of good things. I said, and I told the team, the great thing about, you know, the speech that I had to give about 20 minutes ago is that we're not going to the NIT on next Monday. And there's nothing wrong with the NIT, but because we've been there enough to know that they treat us fine. It's great, but we're going to the NCAA tournament, and that's exciting. And you know, we knew that going in, and so, like I said, I'm proud of our team. Marquette's got a great team. They're a young team, so they're going to be good going forward. And you know, I thought their guards, you know, particularly Wilborn and King, were their ability to finish in the lane and with either hand going either direction was the difference in the game.
Thank you, Coach. We'll open it up to questions. Jay?
Yeah, Jay Alter with the Big East Digital Network. Sydney, a team you beat twice in the regular season. What would you point to as the difference tonight?
I mean, as a team, we just came in knowing that they're a tough team and that we've had close games with them and that we really need to buckle down on defense, and we had to really focus on offense and not a lot of one-on-one stuff, a lot of cutting and screening because, I mean, they practice one-on-one all the time. So, I mean, we just came in knowing it was going to be a tough game, and we fought as much as we could.
What did it look like for you out there from an attacking standpoint? You know, when you're making the reads and deciding when to go to the hoop, when to settle for a jumper, when to try to find someone coming off a flare screen?
I don't know. I mean, I was getting really good screens from my teammates. Like, Bree was setting really great screens on the ball screens. Audrey with her passes. I mean, like, just kind of taking whatever they gave me.
I know it's probably weird to talk about this in a loss, but I mean, we've, you know, over the course of your career, it's been brought up how you don't really get rattled in these types of situations. What is it? Just, you know, take me inside your mentality when, you know, you're facing a hostile environment and they're on a roll and then you have to make a play. How do you calm yourself enough to do that?
I think I just trust my team, and I know that if I don't have an open shot, someone else is going to, and that we can come back. I mean, I think it's all just trust at this point.
Megan O'Brien with the Big East Digital Network. You talk about the trust in your team. Now, this is a group that, you guys, your offense relies on multiple scores. How much confidence does it give you, Jalen, when, Sydney is putting up numbers like she is today to get the ball to her and having the confidence that she's going to hit the shots?
Yeah, it's really huge. She played a great game today. I think, like she said, trust. And, every once in a while, her going to the glass or going to attacking, you're like, Sid's got this, and it's like almost like a confidence booster, and then it just keeps us going, I think. And her poise helps everyone else become poised too.
Now, Marquette did a really good job keeping you guys out of the paint. What's the biggest thing that you guys learned taking away from this heading into the NCAA tournament?
I think definitely on defense we can learn that we really have to take away people's strong hands and their offensive boards towards the end. We kind of let them get a lot. I think we learned that we can fight with teams though and stay in games too. So I think there's a lot of takeaways.
Yeah, and I think we played with. He said we were very resilient and we came together and we played hard. And I think even though we lost, we still played hard through adversity. So I think that's a big takeaway too.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much. Congratulations on the season so far. We look forward to following you in the NCAA tournament. We'll let them head back to the locker room, and then we'll open it up to Q&A for Coach. All right, questions for Coach, Matt?
I mean, this just sounds weird talking about this because you guys lost today, but that was, one of the best performances you guys have had in a conference tournament from an individual standpoint. I mean, how do you put that into perspective, what she did, and trying to keep you guys in that game as much as possible?
I don't know. I think it says a lot about our team from the standpoint that we said, 4 of our 5 starters got an award from the league. Lauren was sportsmanship, Bree was co-most improved, Marissa was second team, and Audrey was first team, and the one kid who didn't get recognized was Sid, which is fine. But I think it speaks to the balance of our team. I had a coach ask me, well, how would you vote? How would you vote all conference for your team? Because I want to take that into account when I put in my all conference ballots. What do you think? And I was like doing that because I think that we are so balanced. Sydney, on a given night, Sydney can be our best, easily today. So I think that speaks to the balance that we have. It also speaks to, the willingness of others to kind of just let somebody go when they're playing well and not force plays. But, there were a couple times where I thought Sydney had Audrey open on a lift. She shot the ball, but they went in, which you love because I think that was what she was feeling. But she's, and I think just when you put the ball, the thing about Sydney is when you put the ball in her hands, she's going to make a good decision. She's been a really high assist to turnover ratio kid throughout her career, and and then the other thing that's really pleasing is what she's done on the glass lately. 15 rebounds in that game, including 4 on the offensive end. I just thought she played, for a kid who played 40 minutes yesterday, for her to come out and get 15 rebounds today says a lot about what kind of heart she played with, not over and above her productivity from a scoring standpoint.
The game plan obviously was to give Danielle and Amani some space, to kind of plug up the things for the other players. I guess from their perspective, how did they exploit those things, and how much did that compromise what you were trying to do defensively?
Sure. Well, I thought, as much as King was kind of King and Blockton kind of owned the first half, I thought Wilborn was more prominent in the second half, and she's just creative with the ball. And we can play way off her, but she still can get to 5 feet and finish with either hand. And we don't, we said nothing against Lauren, but we don't have a great matchup with Lauren on their team. We tried her on Heidemann some, and maybe in retrospect we should have played her on Heidemann a little bit more. But even then, she finished not just over Lauren, she finished over Audrey, Jalen, Sydney. So again, they're tough because you look at their team and you've got their three leading scorers are Davenport, Heidemann, and Blockton, and you look and you say, what did Wilborn and King do? At least I think King is their fourth leading scorer. I don't think she's their third leading scorer. So great balance, and just again, I think Wilborn is super creative with the ball, but I like how attacking that King is. Like, she attacks, she makes you get back in transition, and then she's gotten better in the half court too.
Coach, we talked about yesterday how your team, they usually come out with a slower start. Today, that was quite the opposite. Was that something that you guys talked about as a strategy heading into the game?
No, we didn't. I've long since abandoned the idea that anything I say in pregame is going to affect our start either way, because we've been, sometimes you try motivation, sometimes you try just matter of fact, sometimes, comedy, whatever. It hasn't worked in a lot of cases. So but it does, I did talk about just, Jalen said our resiliency. I said, I don't know how we're going to get it done, but we can get it done. And the idea that we started out the press conference yesterday with, we'd won 9 games trailing at half. I mean, that's, you gotta be confident when you've won that many games trailing at half. And so when I said at halftime today, I said, we've got them right where we want them. We're down 6. I mean, but yeah, our start was great. But I don't know I think part of it is you're more tired on day 2, so you're more relaxed. I mean, you're hyped on day 1, and you're not tired. You got that win. But I was that way as a coach. I felt more relaxed. So I can't imagine Matt would be like, tell you that I'm not always relaxed, but and I'm sure that was the case. And offense is, I say all the time, it's about relaxing, but concentrating. And sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself. I think that's where we were yesterday, and where we are a lot of times early in games is we're not relaxed. So back to back, I think, can help that offensively.
Coach, a real postseason atmosphere in the gym today. How can you use a game like this as you head into more postseason play?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great comment, because it was fun. I told him that. I told him that throughout the game, is enjoy this, because this is what you're going to experience, and this is, I like the fact that we chose a home site. There you go, Pam. Because I thought it was a great environment today, and I don't know how many were in the building, but the building's small enough that it was rocking, and our kids enjoyed that. And like you said, it's good prep for. We played a good team in front of a good crowd, and we competed and battled, and every time it looked like we were dead, we came back. And so I think it's great preparation for whatever, week and a half from now.
Even though it's a disappointing day as far as this result, obviously historic too as far as being ranked. It's an amazing accomplishment.
For one day. No, I'm just kidding.
Which probably won't be the case next week, but just strides the program has made. I know you made comments before about it, but just reiterate about being nationally ranked in women's basketball, how difficult that is.
Yeah, I think it is from the standpoint that I think in my opinion, it's a little more difficult to make headway on the women's side than the men's side, because there are so many guys leaving on the men's side to go. So I think that takes away, or that allows for parity, whereas Maya Moore and Brittany Griner and those guys stay for 4 years on the women's side, and that makes it, if Maya Moore was leaving after 1 year, UConn, so I think it's a little bit harder to make the gains. I think what DePaul's done has been great, and I think we've hopefully been our profile has been elevated, I think, by admittance into the Big East, and so we're excited about that. We're excited about where we were when we came into the league, because we were coming off a year in the NCAA tournament when we came in the league. But I think our program is in good shape going forward. And I told our team we played 11 of our 20 conference games against teams in the top 65 of the RPI, and nothing against our old conference, but that wasn't the case. So we played, there are 5 other teams in the top 65, and to get to play 10 regular season and today it's a great challenge, and it's fun, and it's going to prepare us for the NCAA tournament.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll be watching on Selection Monday.
Thanks, appreciate it.